So as I mentioned in previous videos, something that my firm, Immigration for Couples, is trying to do is to provide more information, more supporting advice about how to have a stronger relationship as you navigate the immigration process. So the immigration process is nothing short of stressful. It really tests your patience. And I know this not just from being an immigration attorney and helping hundreds of couples, but I also know this having gone through the immigration process personally with my husband. I know that the immigration process is just, for a lack of better words, and I'll just step out of my lawyer persona, it just sucks. I know it's hard and you want to be together. A lot of you have distance. You might be living in two separate countries. And I know COVID is happening right now in our world, and that's just an added layer of stress. But what I want to share with all of you who are going through the process is a different perspective, a different way to look at the immigration process. And again, as I've said in other videos where I'm providing information like this, I am not a relationship expert. I am just a person who has personally gone through the immigration process as well and knows what you're feeling. I always say to my clients, of all the things I can do as an immigration attorney to help you in your journey, the one thing I wish I could do, but I can't, is take away all of the stress and emotions you're feeling, because I know exactly what you're feeling, and I wish that somebody could have taken those away for me as well. But what I've learned, having gone through it myself, and also seeing all of the hundreds and hundreds of couples that we've helped navigate the immigration process, the immigration process is something that can actually make your relationship stronger. And I know that for those of you who are going through it right now and you're living separately, maybe you don't like to hear that. Maybe it just sounds really frustrating to hear, I don't want to hear any advice about my relationship. This process is just horrible. We just want to be together. And I get it. I hear you. I felt the same way. My process with my husband took almost 2 years. And then, of course, even though we didn't have COVID going on, we had a lot of other just general issues that happened with immigration. There was a system that was down for months that prevented the SEAC system, that prevented anybody from completing their online application. And so we were sitting in limbo waiting for this system to be fixed. And I remember checking it every day, multiple times a day, just wondering, can you please fix this? We want to be able to do the next step, but your system is broken. And then there were other issues with immigration, as you know, they have human beings working there. They make clerical errors. They had made spelling errors that had to be amended, and that prolonged our separation and the stress. But what I have learned, hindsight's 2020, and looking back on things that my husband and I did in the process, we worked really hard on focusing on our relationship and not letting the immigration case take center stage. We worked really hard at being very purposeful in our conversations to make sure we weren't always talking about our immigration case. And then we talked about the future. And I have a whole other video about something called what I think is the phenomenon of the third wheel, where this immigration case takes on a life of itself and it's a third wheel in your relationship. But really today, what I want to share with you is the perspective of going through this immigration case, knowing that difficulties in relationships are universal. Whether or not you are going through an immigration process, or you happen to be a couple who just is able to get married without having to go through an immigration process, having problems, having issues, having things come up in your relationship and in your life, it's universal. Everybody is going to go through difficult things. And so you can look at your immigration case as just this problem, and you can obsess about it and just be stressed out about it all the time. And I know you can't get rid of the stress. I know I can't get rid of the stress, but you can look at this immigration case and all the difficulties that you're going to go through is something that ultimately is going to make your relationship better, stronger, richer. It really is. It's really true. My husband and I, having gone through this, living through it it was more than 2 years because of all the time before that, researching and figuring things out, talking to attorneys and finding the best path. It was more than, it's more than 2 years. It's stressful. But what we found is we have a reference point now. We have this really difficult thing that we both made it through together, and our relationship's stronger. It's one of those things that you think back, there's these new difficulties that come up in life, as they inevitably will. But you have this reference point of something difficult that you went through together in the past, and you think, we can do this. We've done some of the most difficult things that any couple could go through. This being apart, this immigration process, the bureaucracy of it, not being able to see each other, and especially all of you now who are going through this with COVID, you have even more difficulties that you're facing that's ultimately going to make your relationship so much stronger. So my advice to you is just, I know it's hard. I know you want to be together. I know you just want to be done, but try to look at it and remind yourself, remind each other, getting through this, we will. You're going to get through it. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. I'll tell you, because I have done it, and I know it was a long process. I made it. We have hundreds and hundreds of couples we've helped, and they made it. And it was a long journey. And when we get to the end with them, they think, we made it. We did it. You really will. You will, regardless of where you are in the process. You're going to make it to the end. You're going to be able to start your lives together. But look at it again as an experience that you're going to share together to ultimately have a stronger relationship. And as I mentioned, I'm not a relationship expert. I have these amazing friends, Marla and Julianne, who are relationship experts. I really should have them come and share information with all of you so you can learn from them about how to really change your perspective, how to work on each other, work with each other, communicate with each other, and have an even better relationship. So I hope that gives you some kind of peace of mind, knowing, you'll make it to the end, and a different way to look at life, a different way to look at this immigration case in a way that's more healthy, not just for you, but for each other and for your relationship. So I hope that helped.